In today's video, I'm going to be showing you my mock of a Lion Knights Outpost, but before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button for more LEGO Castle content, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another upload. Alright, let's start with the 4 minifigures I included in this build, but a quick disclaimer, I personally prefer the LEGO Kingdoms Lion Knights design you see here, compared to the blue and red version from the Lion Knights Castle. First up, we have the Lion Knight Captain. He uses the armoured knight and torso legs, and I've paired them with the arms from the Dragonborn Paladin minifigure, which I think matches up perfectly. For his hair, I gave him this mid-length dark brown piece to give him that Aragorn feel. But since he's a knight, he of course needs a helmet, and it's topped off with a red feather. For his accessories, he comes with a longsword and a triangular shield. Next up, we have a heavily armoured Lion Knight, whose job it is to guard the entrance to the outpost. He uses the regular Lion Knight torso, paired with the legs from the Heroic Knight CMF. If we take off his shoulder armour piece, you can see he also uses the Paladin arms. And underneath the silver bucket helm, he has a double-sided face, and I've included this black hairpiece for when he's not on guard duty. For his accessories, he carries a spear and a large oval shield. For our third minifigure, we have an archer. He acts as a lookout for any approaching danger, and also gives this group of figures some extra firepower from above. He has the same torso and legs as the armoured knight, but instead of shoulder armour, he has a quiver to store his arrows. He uses a silver nasal helm, which if we take off, it can be swapped out for this dark brown hairpiece, and for his weapon, he of course has a bow and arrow. Our fourth and final minifigure is this Lion Knight Squire. He's the son of a noble lord, and he wants nothing more than to become a knight when he grows up. For his torso, I used a regular Lion Knight one, but I've turned it around so that the sigil is on the back. To cover up the sigil, I used this backpack he uses to carry around the group's supplies. Unfortunately, there's not enough room for a frying pan in there, so he has to carry that in his hand. He also has this hilarious double-sided face, which will come in handy later in the video. And that's it for the 4 minifigures. Now let's move on to the rest of the build. Each of the minifigures has their own horse to travel to the outpost from the Lion Knights Castle, and since the Bardin piece is so expensive, I've used these 3 red saddle pieces for the knights, and a grey one for the squire. I've also included these 2 buckets for the horses to enjoy after the long journey, one full of food and the other full of water for them to drink. And for our knights to feast on, I made an outdoor seating area. It includes a large round table with stools, along with some cups and bowl pieces. They can all sit around it whilst their dinner cooks and exchange stories from their different adventures across the kingdoms. I also included these 2 crates with different food items such as meats, vegetables and a few other supplies. Another small build I made was this fire pit. I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out, and as we can see, the squire's prepared this soup which can then be held over the fire. And now moving on to the main build, we have the Lion Knights Outpost. This is my first attempt at making something this size, and not to blow my own trumpet, but I'm pretty impressed with how it's come together. I'll give you a quick 360 so you can see it from all angles, just before we look at the closer details. But just from looking at the outside, what would you guys rate this out of 10? Let me know down in the comments. I've got a handful of these stone lion head pieces that I've been waiting to use, and this felt like the perfect opportunity to include them in this build. I've also added a few of these olive green leaf pieces as part of the forest starts to grow up the side. On the ground floor, for a bit of decoration and to help break up the grey stone wall, I've added these 3 golden window pieces. And if we move around to the front, we have these large brown double doors which can open up to give us a sneak peek of what's inside. Just above the door, I also added 2 red banners, and between them, an arrow slit style window I created using some snot bricks. To add some texture to the walls, I used a combination of masonry bricks, as well as some of my older grey pieces. You can spot them really easily, as they stand out compared to the newer bricks. I added them to give the outpost a more weathered look. It's not exactly going to be in pristine condition sitting in the middle of the forest. Now let's take a look at the interior. Starting with the ground floor, I've built this so the rest of the structure can be easily removed and set to one side. This is our armoury for the knights, and I've tried to pack in there as much as I can. Starting in the left corner, we have some flails, a spare bow, and then 4 halberds. In the middle, we have a nasal helm and this breastplate with some extra Lion Knight detailing. And on the right side, we have 4 spears, 2 more Lion Knight shields, and a container filled with swords. And of course, the floor is red to match the Lion Knights colour scheme. Now let's pop back on our first floor and have a look inside. This room is used for planning. It's basically the strategy room for the outpost. There's a map on the middle table where the knights can discuss troop movements and keep track of what's happening around the kingdom. There are also some maps of the other regions on the walls. In this corner there's a small table with a candle, as well as a quill and some ink. This is used to write important letters to the other Lion Knights across the land. This room doesn't quite feel complete to me yet, and I do want to add more to it, so if you have any ideas, comment them down below, I'd love to hear them. We have one more section to go through, so let's pop the roof back on and add in our archer minifigure. This roof gives them a better view of the horizon, so we can see who's travelling nearby. On the wall we have another red flag to represent the Lion Knights, and over here we have a perch I made for this raven. The raven is an essential part of the outpost, as it's able to retrieve and send letters from all over the kingdom. And the last detail I included is this horn. The horn acts as a way for the knights to communicate with each other, with each signal having its own meaning, and the squire's second face is perfect for this. And that's it for my Lion Knights Outpost mock. What do you guys think? Is there anything I missed that I should have included? And let me know what you'd like to see me build next. I had loads of fun making this one, so if you enjoyed the video, then give it a like, share it with your friends, and if you haven't already, then please consider subscribing. I love making castle content like this all the time, so if you're a fan of medieval Lego, then this channel's the right one for you. Make sure to turn on that notification bell so you never miss a future upload. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.